Okay, this is Jacob Schmitt with deerhuntingschool.com. This video here, I'm going to talk about getting your soil test and stuff and getting your fertilizer and stuff down, and that's what I'm going to be doing here. It's actually raining just a little bit, but that's okay. It's March, beginning of March. I frost seeded this area here you can see behind me, and out here, this area is about 8,600 square foot here. It's a big L. And I've got my soil test back, tells me what exactly I need to put on it. And this is the soil sample off of the food plot that we're looking at. Now, like I said already, the food plot's only about 1/5 of an acre. So you got to do a little math, and it's really simple. These here are the nutrients that it's asking for this. Okay, and by year, the first year it's asking for 50 pounds per acre. Now these numbers are per acre, so that's where you got to do a little math, and 285 pounds per acre. Now, like I said, I know it's 1/5 of an acre, which is 0.20. So all I do is multiply these in a calculator. 50 times 0.20. I'll show you 285 times 0.20. You know, and that equals right under 60 pounds, but I'm just going to go ahead and put 60 pounds on there because I'm not going to weigh out 3 pounds. It's not going to make that big a difference. I just know I'm going to get the nutrients I need. I actually already put lime on it. It's been limed. I limed it a couple months ago, and that allows the lime to really get into the soil and start neutralizing the acidic level in the soil. But the clover is just now germinating. You really can't hardly see it. And all the weeds and stuff are beginning to germinate here in Arkansas. So what I want to do now, I want to get my fertilizer on here. And one thing you'll notice if you have looked into legumes or anything, clover, soybeans, things like that, they call for no nitrogen. And the reason for that is them plants are legumes. They create their own nitrogen, pulling it out of the air and fixating it into the soil. You see here, any legumes are not going to call, and you see nitrogen's being called here. It's not, and this is a rotational crop where I'm going to put in brassicas, and this is what I need. And you actually see here, this is a fertilizer credit. Over 2 years, the clover is going to put in 90 pounds of nitrogen into the soil. So in reality, when I put the brassicas in, I only have to put 30 pounds of nitrogen in, even though it's going to use 120 pounds out of the soil because the clover puts it in. So you don't want to put nitrogen in to your soil with a legume because that's just going to help the weeds fight against your clover. So, you know, guys, a lot of times they wonder, how do you get, you know, fertilizer with no nitrogen? And there's ways that you can do that. You know, most guys are just, they run down and buy triple 13 or whatever, and the problem with that, when you do that, is when you put nitrogen on here, you're actually feeding all the grass and the other broadleaves and things that compete against your clover. So I'm going to show you what a couple products, and there's different ways to do that. You have your P and your K. That's what you're going to require for any nitrogen, or for any clover and any soybeans. All it's going to require is phosphorus and potassium, okay? So I'm going to show you what you have here. And this here is a 20-20, okay? It has 20 pounds per 100, 20 pounds of phosphorus per 100 pounds of fertilizer. And it also has 20 pounds of potash, which is your potassium, okay? In this per 100 pounds. This is a 50-pound bag here. So if I put this out, I'm getting 10 pounds of potassium, and it's going to give me 10 pounds of phosphorus, okay? So this, on my soil sample, and I had to do some calculation to figure out how many, this is actually a 1/5 of an acre here, this food plot is. So it was actually requiring, when I done the math and everything, it required 10 pounds of phosphorus, and it was calling for 60 pounds of potassium, okay, which is potash. So I have my 20-20 here, And that's going to give me my 10 pounds of potassium, and it's going to give me 10 pounds of my my potash. Now, what else do you have? Now here, I have a 0.060, just potash, okay? And this is 60% potassium, okay? And this is a 50-pound bag, so this is 30 pounds of potassium. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to spread half the rate on this of what my soil sample requires. I'm going to come back in about a month, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 2 months at the most, and then I'm going to put the other half down. I went ahead while I was at the co-op, the farmer's co-op, went ahead and bought everything I needed because it's, you know, it's not real far away from the house, but it's a little drive. So I went ahead and bought everything I needed for the entire year, and will take care of this food plot for an entire year here. The food plot will have all the nutrients and things it needs. Go to your a farm co-op or something like that, a farmer supply, where farmers go, where they order their stuff. And if you're needing both, you know, if you need both, you can put down, you know, a 0. And it's going to look like this on the bag, a 0, 20, 20. Guys, that stuff sells for like, you know, it's like $15 a bag, you know, for a 50-pound bag. At least it is here in Arkansas. That's what I paid for it. And then the 0.060, that was like $13, $14 a bag. It's a lot cheaper than going and buying triple 13, which is actually not doing you any good. It does you a little good, but it actually feeds the other plants that compete. So you know, go to a local co-op and tell them, take your soil samples, show them what you need. And the only thing I have to come back is do some maintenance. I'll have to mow this and keep the weeds and stuff down, and I may have to spray it later on, you know, to kill some of the grassy weed. And this food plot here will be ready to go and good to go.